Exploiting overthinking. So, in our lives, we play lots of competitive games, or we should be playing competitive games at the very least. And one realm, this is like the video I talked about trolling, right? There's a mental aspect to every single competitive game, and you have to win that. Okay, this is the way you make up for lackluster skills in other areas. You win this competitive battle in the mental field. So this could be little things like exploiting overthinking, which is what we're going to be talking about in this video. When you exploit overthinking, you are essentially making the person work against themselves. There's many examples of this. In the NBA, it was a playoff game and someone was shooting free throws, and I believe someone came up to the person. I think it was LeBron went up to Gilbert Arena. Was that LeBron and Gilbert Arenas? I think it was. And he told him, if you miss this free throw, or something along those lines, if you miss this free throw, you're going to lose the game. And then what happens? Gilbert Arenas, the very good free throw shooter, misses. Things like that. Because you get the person in the mindset of thinking, like, oh, well, what if I do miss? What if I miss? What will happen? Everyone will laugh at me. Well, what if I lose here, I'm going to look like a loser. What if I miss the shot? This, that, and the third. When you have someone in this mindset, they start working against themselves. Very simple tasks become nearly impossible when you're thinking like this. It's like golf too. You know how in golf, when you swing, you're not supposed to think that much. When you're supposed to take any action that you've practiced a bunch of times, you aren't supposed to think that much about it. You just do it. But if you get a golfer in the mindset of like, oh, well, what if I miss this putt? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Blah blah blah. They start hyper focusing on the putt and end up missing. They end up messing it up. Same goes for everything else. Things that were once easy now become very difficult when you're overthinking. So, when you're playing against someone in a competitive game, always look for ways to make them overthink. It could be little quips like LeBron, just little, hey, if you miss, you're going to lose. Little things like that. It could be outright trolling them, belittling them. I already talked about, a game is a game. This isn't personal. You can belittle them. That's a way of making them overthink. Just put fear, exploit the human instinct of fear, because that's a human instinct right there. Humans, when we fear things, we think about them a lot. So let's say we fear status is one thing humans desire, right? So we fear being looked down upon because that's a sign of low status, right? So if you get someone in the mindset thinking like, well, everyone's gonna make fun of me if I miss or if I lose here, this, that, and the third, that's a great way of making them overthink because now the human instincts are being exploited. Oh, what if everyone makes fun of me and my status is going to drop off, this, that, and the third, and they aren't really focusing on the game. And when they do try focusing on it, they have this little thing in the back of their head, and they're just focusing on every little detail, like, oh, I gotta make sure it's perfect, gotta make sure it's perfect. And with this attempt at perfection, they end up I just got a really good video idea. But at this attempt at perfection, they ended up messing everything up. They would have been better off if they just completely blanked out their mind. Just completely blank and they just did the thing that they've been practicing for forever. So, when you're looking at competitive games, don't focus on just like, well, I gotta throw my jab like this, or I gotta practice my dribbling, or I have to learn chess theory, this, that, and the third. Always look at the mental aspect. How can you win in the mental field? Because you can cancel out someone's skill abilities, someone's, training, this, that, and the third, if you get into their mind and you make them overthink. It cancels it out. So this is a very important realm to work in.